Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com. Today, I wanted to talk about the 144,000 lightworkers. So, uh, we hear a lot about 144,000 lightworkers, but I want to talk about the frequency today. So, there's been many times where we talked about what the 144,000 lightworkers is, what that means. But lately, I've been hearing about what is the Lightworkers frequency, and I want to channel Alpar-a-Be-am, my blue avian partner guide, to find out what that means. So first, I'm just going to make sure that everyone's on, that you can see me, that it's working, as that's sometimes a little problem. Looks like I'm live, and I'm just gonna forward it to my group here. Let's see. And then we'll start, okay? So how are you guys doing today? Yeah, oh, it's not gonna let me. There we go. Forward it. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. Hi, Kim. Hi. Okay, so you all can see me. That's good. Hi, Tyann. Terrific. Okay, so, oh, hi, Lucia. I'm glad you're here. All right, let me start over. So I've been hearing a lot about this 144,000 hertz or frequency of light or something like that. And of course, if you follow me, you know that I have channeled Alpar and other guides many times. Oops. Okay, there it goes. I've channeled Alpar many guides. I've channeled lots of beings and asked the question about who are the 144,000 lightworkers. And the answer that I always get is that we are the lightworkers who are spreading the light. In other words, we are training other lightworkers. So of course, there's more than 144,000 going to ascension. There's lots of spiritual awakening, but the 144,000 themselves, we are the ones who are training more lightworkers or assisting or coaching or something like that. And so, of course, that's what I do. I help people just come into their gifts and learn how to trance-channel healing and messages and light in all different kinds of ways. And I feel like I teach the teachers. So I love doing that, and I love being part of that. And I'm sure that many of you have that path before you as well. And, you know, you may be called to do that. And I think it's great. But no matter what you're called to do, that's what we're supposed to be doing. So today, I was really curious. I want to know, what does it mean? And I don't know. So if you don't know how I do things, of course, if you're in my tag membership, you know how I do things. I sort of have the idea, or the idea comes to me, maybe from my spirit guides. And then what I do is I channel the answer, right? Because I don't have all the answers. So that's the best part about being a trance channel medium, is that I'm just going to bring in a being to answer the question, because I don't know the answer. So a lot of times I just come on live and I ask the question, and I'll be just as surprised as you. And I do that all the time in the tag masterclasses, where I bring forth all types of trance-channeled information. Hi, Kim. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to channel Alpar-a-Be-am and ask him what it means. And if you have questions, I of course want to hear them. I will ask them. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's answer our questions about it, because we need to know, right? We're in this really wild part of ascension, with this testing phase, as it's been told to me, where we're being tested, you know, what no longer serves, in such a big way. And we've heard this before, so it's not like this is the first time we've heard this, like that we have to release what no longer serves. But this testing phase, I feel, is all about just trust. That's the messages I've been getting over and over, and the signs and everything. Trusting that everything's going to be okay, that no matter what's happening, it's fine, because we can transmute any kind of negativity. We can transmute anything. And this isn't about don't feel your feelings or, you know, spiritual bypassing at all. It's about, you know, going through, getting to the heart of the matter and clearing it, and doing shadow work and doing all the things and going through it, and then coming out the other side which is amazing, right? When that no longer bothers you anymore, where, you know, you almost forget that you used to have that problem, which is really what happens a lot of times. So in this testing phase, it's difficult. So if you're going through that, that's the message I got. I got it from a future self me. And it was really interesting. So without further ado, I'm going to trans-channel Alpar, see what he has to say about the 144,000, because is it a hertz? Like, is it something I could bring through in light language, in liquid Reiki sound healing? Like, I want to know what it is. Or is it a light frequency? Or is it a grid? Or is it, you know, is it just something we heard that's not really anything? You know, there's lots of that too. So let's find out. I am Alpar and happy to be here to discuss this idea that is floating around on Earth. Where does the idea come from? Well, it comes from us, the Ascension Guides, who are here to help each and every one of you. For all of you have an Ascension Guide, a helper, at least one, if not many, many, many helpers. And you have regular spirit guides too, who also help you, who also lead you. And of course, where are you being led but to ascension, to your light path, to your destination of what you are supposed to be doing in this life, which can change over time and is not always just one thing or one goal, but many goals, many changes, many levels. And where you're at is on the way always, and that is exactly where you should be. So what is the 144,000 frequency? This is a frequency of light and sound. You may bring it through. It is not a hertz, as if you know that would be impossible. And so it is a sound in a different way in your universe, in your world, in your third dimensional life. You understand sound by its frequency number, by its hertz. And that is the frequency of sound that you use, for instance, to tune an instrument or to match your voice or to use a solfeggio, tuning fork, or crystal bowl. These are all frequency sounds in your world. But this sound is not one sound. It is a sound from another universe, almost another time. It is from outside of the third dimension. It is from your source, your origins, your beginnings. This is the sound that brings you to yourself, to your Lightworker next step or frequency. It is so difficult to say in your words. This is not one note. It is not one sound always. However, it can be brought through if you are attuned to channeling sound, to channeling healing, to light language in any way. Then you may bring it through, and it can sound like anything. It can be a song, but what it is a calling for Lightworkers to go on the next step, or to decide, or to understand that they are Lightworkers, to bring them into this Lightworker path, which is a light, which is a path. It is a path of light, almost like a grid, but it is more personal. You may think of it as a ray of light coming from the galaxy, is the best that I can describe in ways that you can visually think of. And this is, well, you can think of it as a spotlight. You stand in the spotlight. It aligns you to the frequency of your light path. It aligns you going forward. And so it is a frequency, not of a notable sound in your musician's handbook on Earth, but a sound of the universe, of the galaxy, of the beautiful fullness of one that you come from source, from everything, from this universe, from another universe, all of it. And it is your calling here to bring you forward into the fifth dimensional crystalline body, which is yours and which you are building at this time, which you are becoming at this time. Hi, this is Rachel again. Well, that's really interesting because I looked up like, ooh, maybe it's 144,000 hertz, because I'm a musician. And of course, there's no such thing. And so what he's saying is we can bring it through and it can sound like anything. It can sound like a tune or a song, or it can sound like light language or healing or any kind of sound. It's more like a ray of light, a calling, a frequency, very similar to light language. I was teaching a light language class this morning, one-on-one, and that's what it is. It's like it's this channeled frequency that you're bringing forward to build the light body, or to change something, to attune to something. And basically what he's saying is this 144,000 frequency of light, of sound, of source, of everything just aligns us to our path, what we're supposed to be doing here. That's so interesting. And so I guess let's have some questions. My question, and I think I know the answer, but I think I should bring it forth, is, well then, if this is for us, for Earth, what's it like for other people? What about people in the 5D? Actually, I don't know the answer to this. People in the 5D, what would that frequency do for them? Or have they already been through it? And what would this do to another planet that's in the 3D? And are there other planets in the 3D that are going through this? And do they also have 144,000? Are they also attuned to this number, or is that just about Earth? Ooh, see, I have lots of questions. I'm going to bring them back in. If you have a question, I want to see it in the comments so that I can ask for you, okay? There are other planets now going through this ascension process. There were not some time ago, but now there are. As your ascension process has reached a place that allows others to do the same. You may have been told you were one of the last or the last to go through this ascension process, but that has changed now. And there are more who have been encouraged by your process, encouraged by your progress. For you may not see what beautiful lights you are and how you go forward and how you do so well, but we see it. And it has inspired many. And so now we have 3 more planes of existence or planets which are going through an ascension process. Their number is not the same as yours. This 144,000 in your mind, in your understanding, it is a number. However, it is just a symbol. And on other places, we may not use numbers in the same way. And numbers are different. Math is different in another place. And so it's different. And we may use a symbol, we may use something totally different, whatever aligns with the language of that third dimensional place. It will be different than Earth. And there are souls who are flocking to these other places too, as there were not enough spaces in the billions of spaces on Earth for these beautiful souls to experience what you are experiencing. And you may be going through this life thinking, this is difficult. Why did I choose this? I'd like to transition back. This is a terrible idea. This is painful. And yet there are so many beings watching you thinking that you are amazing. You are brave. You're tenacious. Your light is so strong and beautiful. You're learning so much. Your souls are advancing as you're in this life. And so we have made other places for all those souls who didn't make it to Earth to experience this as you have, to do so as well. And they have different symbols. They have different numbers. The more of their planet might go to ascension versus Earth, which has been around a long time. And of course, there is so much that you don't know about the world, the universe, and which will be revealed in the next 2 years. that I can't say at this time, but there's so much more to learn. But the important thing is that you're on your path and you're helping others and you're helping yourself with self-love, self-trust, and you're expanding your light. And we are all here to guide you, and we wish to. Did he answer that question? I hope he did. I'm trying to think. It's hard. I can't think while he's talking. Like, it's impossible. I can sometimes see what he's showing me. He shows me a lot of things. And so that's really interesting. I wondered about that too, because a long time ago I got that we were the last place to go to Ascension. I heard other people saying that, many people saying that, really great channels. But that's really interesting that that's not the case anymore. We have inspired people with our work, which I'm sure is blowing all of our minds, because, right, it feels like it's not much, right? Like we just little minuscule steps forward all the time, but they're saying that it's a lot more than that. So that's so good. And we have some beautiful comments here. Let's see. Joe says, I was practicing light language on the beach yesterday and it was just sound coming through. Beautiful. Tyann says, I've been seeing a light beam spotlight in my Reiki and had no idea what it meant. Now I know. Oh, that's so cool. And hi, Missy and Irene and all those who are here. Okay, do we have another question for Alpar that we can ask him? Does anyone have a question about this frequency? I can bring through a healing from him with my liquid Reiki shamanic sound healing. He's saying that, you know, it's not one frequency, it's not one note or one hertz, as we say, but it could be many. And I like that he said it could be a song, because of course I want to bring through a song, right? So if there's no more questions, that's what I'll do. But if you have a question, I'd love to hear it. So he says it's a frequency of light. It's a frequency of sound. It's a frequency that we align to. And so I think really there's no word for it here, right? We just don't have a word for that. So I'm not going to say here that it's a frequency of light. I'm going to say it's just a frequency to attune to. So let me bring that through. I'll channel him for this healing for you all to help you really stand into that light. Oh, but look, we have questions. Judy says, I thought the frequency was an embodiment of the frequency of all 12 DNA strands activated. I think that's more about ascension itself, but I can ask. And Irene says, how do you know if you're part of the 144K Lightworkers? Well, are you a Lightworker who assists other Lightworkers going forward? Do you teach maybe Reiki or light language, or you mentor others? It's really like a mentorship. So there's more than 104,000 Lightworkers out here, but there's 144,000 that lead people to ascension with teachings or attunements or information, so that it doesn't have to be in the way that you see me doing it or how other people do it. It's just however you're leading others with information, with abilities going forward, so that they also lead others, or some of them. So that's kind of how it works according to Alpar or other beings that I've channeled. Okay, so let's ask Judy's question and then I'll do the sound healing. Okay. This is a question about if the 144,000 is an embodiment of 12-strand DNA. Many of you have the 12 strands of DNA already activated or are activating them now. And yes, this is part of being a Lightworker of the 144,000. So this is a different way that we use this symbol or this number 144000. One is that there are 144,000 Lightworkers mentoring or helping in some way others come to the light and spread that light themselves. And it is also a type of frequency that you can step into. We use this symbol, this number, in more than one way to help you. And that is one other way, is that it is a frequency of light, of sound from outside of your sphere that ignites your passion for going forward into your light path, ignites you into the next step of your evolution as a light worker, whether you're one of the 144,000 or not. Then this is a frequency. And it can be brought through in many ways. As this medium I speak through is a sound healer, then we bring it through in sound. We bring it through her modality. Whatever your modality is, you may be connected and asked to be connected to this frequency and bring it through yourself for your own clients or others that you seek to help in this world. Oh, so that's a good answer, Judy. So it's, we've got two things going on here. We got 244,000 symbols or things happening because that's their symbol, their ascension symbol with us. So this is true, what you're saying, but it leans more towards 144,000 Lightworker mentors or teachers or spreaders of the word or whatever you want to call it. Activators here. So that's really interesting. And Irene says Reiki healer. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water and we'll bring this frequency through. You know what I saw is that when he took his hands like this and in the middle and then pulled to the sides of the screen like that, I saw this triangular, was it triangular? It was more like a rhombus, like a diamond shape. It was a symbol and it was like just repeated, like small to big. And it was just like, it was like pinpointing right in the middle. And he was singing more like one note then, and it was like piercing through the middle right to you. And then I felt like the beginning part was like lighting the fire, and bringing that passion and all of that forward for you. Well, that was really cool. I loved it. I hope you liked it too. And if anyone has any last questions here, I can surely ask him, but we're pretty much at the end now. Thank you all so much for coming live, and I hope you enjoy this if you're on replay. then let me know. I, of course, appreciate all your likes and your subscribes. If you're on my YouTube channel, as you know, I post at least 3 times a week and go live every other week. And I love to help. So I really appreciate all of you who subscribe and comment and give me some hearts. It means a lot. So thank you so much. And thanks for coming. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Judy, you felt tingly. I have a feeling it's one of those things that will sort of roll out in the next week or so. I don't think it's like an instant thing. It feels to me that this is something that's going to be, you know, sort of building within us for the next 7 or 8 days. So I'd love to hear what happens. Come back to my YouTube page and post. And I'd love to hear how this made its way to you or how it was known to you. That would be great. So thank you all so much for coming. And thank you, Alpar, for bringing forward your beautiful messages and light. And now we know. Now we have the answer. See, that's what I love about being a trance-channel medium, is that I can just bring forward any guide or helper and find out the answer to the questions that I have. Oh, and I would like to tell you all too that I have an Etsy shop now. You can find me at Soundwaves Heal on Etsy. You can see my stickers here. I'm making frequency stickers. They're very, very strong. I have 2 types up and I'm making a 3rd, and they really make a huge difference. I wear them every day and I love them. They really make my life easier in both the protection and just dealing with the 3D world. And I hope that they help you too. They're very inexpensive, and I'm really loving all the feedback I'm getting on them. So check me out also at Etsy at Soundwaves Heal. And thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. Okay, I'll actually be on live again next week. So I'll see you then. Okay, bye.